Hey folks, today I'm going to talk about libraries. If you have a library near you, you should check it out. They have some pretty good stuff. Some libraries even have like video games for like PlayStation 4, Xbox, Switch. And so I was at a library recently, not too long, at the very least, not too long ago. And and I had just not too long before that found out that they had games. So I went there and I was looking through the games they had. I think they're all E or T, T at the highest rating, right? But anyway, so then I noticed I was next to this section was next to like graphic novels. So I went over there and looked over there and I saw this one that said Ducks. It was by Kate Beaton. I was like, oh yeah, I'd heard about this when it was being worked on. Now it's finally out now. So I pulled it out. It's a pretty thick one. Um, and I liked her webcomics, Hard Vagrant, right? Pulled it out, skimmed it at the beginning a little bit. Kind of felt like it was going to be some like Tarzan's Apologia, really. So I was like, no thanks, put it back. But then I was thinking, like, okay, I'm in the graphic novel section. Do they have Buddha by Tezuka? Because back where I grew up, the library had those books, and those are great books. And I figured I should check them out. You know, graphic novels are relatively not that time consuming compared to other books, and that's a nice thing about them. And so I looked, I didn't see it, and then I looked and I found that the like Japanese graphic novels were over in the teen section. I was like, okay, that's weird, but I guess I'll go over there and look for it. Um, so I went over there, and the the ones in the teen section were really more serial stuff, you know, series. Nothing like what I was looking for, like a full. Well, yeah, not quite what I was looking for. Buddha's more like a book, or like 8 books, but not really a comic series, you know. Um, so anyway, I was over there and I came across some Dragon Ball stuff. And this guy, Akira Toriyama, he's the guy who made Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and he died recently. I was like, well, this guy died recently. I liked his show growing up. I'll check out the books, see how they are since they're there. They weren't all there, but there were some there. I've seen most of the show, so I'm okay with skipping ahead a bit. And luckily, they also had the last book too, which I never actually saw the end of the show, so that was nice. I actually just today finished the last book. This is it. And it reads backwards, you know, right to left. I'm not going to show you. You can figure it out yourself. But anyway, it's good. They're good reads. They're quick, not too time consuming, even less so than Buddha, because these are either. Well, this last one was actually thicker than the other ones, but still, it's smaller than Buddha, I believe. They definitely usually are, at the very least. I think this one is too. And wanted to give a little review of that. Comparing the comics that I've read and the show. Show, I would say, and I saw the original show, not like the Kai version, not the abridged version, just what they put on Toonami and Cartoon Network back in the day. That's what I saw. I'm an older, more distinguished fellow compared to some of these under 30-year-old folks, right? So anyway, that's the one I saw. And comparing the show to the comics, I like the show better. I also like the show better as it originally aired, with the black instead of red blood in some cases, a bit of censoring. That's fine. That's good. It was marketed to kids. I think that makes sense. The comics, as I have them here at least, are in black and white, which is good. I prefer it. Kids are reading this. There's still some moments with, you know, things happening that really kids shouldn't see in gratuitous detail in full color, right? So this is fine and good that it's in black and white. Also, from the original airing on Toonami, there's a guy named Hercule. They changed his name in recent redubbings, and I do not like it. It's very blasphemous and disrespectful. I like Hercule, so they do that in these comics too, and in the original, airing of the show too. So I prefer that. So all those things said, the show is ultimately better than the comics. I think the comics, most of them, the comics came first, and then they made the show, and the comics kind of acted as a good like storyboard for like. I don't want to give too much away here, but they're a good storyboard for like things happening that you can kind of then animate into something cooler. Whatever, I don't want to give away anything. But anyway, you see images and then you can draw them out into moving things and taking up time and whatnot. So the show is ultimately better. However, the comics are a quicker read, and that's a big plus. The show's like probably the fullest experience, I'd say, right? But the comics are quick, and you can get through them much more quickly. Like, this book has multiple episodes worth of content in it. This book is like, it's not as long. Every episode's like 22 minutes, right? And there's many episodes that are in this book, and this book is not watching all of these episodes that are covered in here. It's going to take longer than just reading this book. So that's a really good thing in favor of the comics. But again, on the other hand, that also means they're a little more shallow. Now, well, a little more shallow than the show. But still, the basics are there. You see things happening. You see what people are doing. You get the picture. And then that also was a good grounding, a good base for when they made the show. They could flesh it out from there. And that's what they did. They usually did it pretty well. So, yeah. I just wanted to give a little review of the comic. Akira Toriyama, from what I've heard, sounds like he died the way my dad died. Some blood in the brain, got on the brain from some stroke that he had, I think, if I'm understanding how he died right. And a blood thinner he was taking made it so that happened faster and worse than it otherwise would have. And he was about 60-some, as my dad was when he died. Yeah, interesting stuff. So anyway, given that he died, that's what got me into it. All right, I'll read these. So I read them. I'm realizing I look pretty tired in this video, and I got this foo-foo ass haircut. But, oh well, it'll grow back and better. Anyway, I should probably sleep now that I'm looking at myself. I should probably sleep. Oh, I also got this, while we're here. I've got some alcohol I want to talk about. A friend of mine is actually currently in jail for doing some nonviolent civil disobedience, asking President Biden to declare a climate emergency and do more on climate, but declare climate emergencies kind of gets the ball rolling, right? He's done a lot of good things. There's also one more good thing you can do that would be great. Send a great message to everyone else, because it's got to be more than just him doing little executive actions. It has to be everyone on board. Anyway, my friend got this Remy Martin VSOP champagne, and it's good. It's strong, but it's like, so don't drink a lot. I'm not much of a drinker anyway, but it is actually good. There's also a wine bottle that he got, right? And after having these things, like, usually I'm not much for alcohol, but after having these things, I'm like, okay, I can see what people like this. I can see why people get into this. However, the VSOP is strong, so I'm not gonna like drink it a lot or often. The red wine was less strong, but still strong. Yeah, but I can feel the VSOP. much more strongly. Still, I had a little bit. And anyway, I wanted this to be a Dragon Ball video, not an alcohol judging video. So I should also tell you about my friend, because that's actually the most important thing. But another video. Anyway, thanks for your time. And always remember to do the right thing. Cheers.